Okay, what's up? So first video we'll do, just looking at this Winston replay real quick. I honestly just want to look at attack. I tend to talk too long and about too many things, but we need to simplify things to start with and just try to get you to learn how to throw your weight around on tank, and that's going to be from on Winston using your bubble right, using your jump a little better, and kind of like just talking about what we're trying to do, basically. Yeah. Uh, so shall we begin? The thing I noticed about your gameplay, and this is in the, it looks like you have a bit of drift, by the way. So the fix for that is just to, I don't know if you copied those settings I sent you exactly. One thing you have to do, and I don't know why, and it's annoying, but you do have to go to every character and go down here to aim assist ease in and set it to 95%. It's annoying, but you just throw on a podcast or whatever. And then for drift, that's going to come from this inner dead zone setting here. And you just kind of put it up a little until it stops drifting or mostly stops drifting. And sometimes even your left stick can drift and you need to mess with these. But just off the bat. So anyway. What I'm seeing in your games is we're doing a pretty good job of setting up. We should take a little less damage when we're going in. In general, as tank, like you want to take damage sometimes when it helps your team, if that makes sense. But as much as it can on Winston, and like honestly on most tanks, like you're trying to get in your effective range, which is, you know, short range, with as many of your cooldowns and as much health as possible, right? Your resources, we call it. So even just here, I would just come out the door this way. Maybe even jump to here, right? And then we can go out to here. And if they're trying to hold this corner, we can like walk up and use a bubble just to fight for this space. Like that's one of the main things with bubble is I want to fight for this location. So I'm going to throw down my bubble because it lets me stay here longer and not take damage. The other main thing it does is block things, right? So it can block off heals. It can block off, it doesn't block Mercy heals, but you know, it blocks Kiri's heals, it blocks Moira's heals, it blocks Juno's heals. It can also block cooldowns, right? So that would be like we can block Suzu with it. We can block a rock, which is kind of important. Versus Sigma, we can actually block Shotgun with it, so we don't get boot. If we see Hanzo pop his storm arrows, which he can blow us up with those, we can block those. It's a very flexible cooldown. And a lot of the time we're using it to block something specific, whether that's something that can stun us or knock us about or things like that. Or we get someone about half health and then we drop our bubble sort of on them and bubble dance with it. And it blocks heals for them, right? And so like half health is around when the supports start to panic or it like shows up on their screen and they're like, oh shit, gotta heal this guy. And then you, boom, the bubble's on him, you can't Suzu him, etc. Okay? So anyway, back to this, I would just kind of try to approach from the left because it has more cover. And even now, you could just jump up, you have full health. Instead of here, which just like, all it does is put you far away from these heroes who all can shoot you at range, right? So instead of here, I would really just jump to here, try to zap them back, and maybe like move over here. The other thing with Winston, right, is Tesla gun. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it is a cleave. It's AoE. So if you see a group of squishies like these two guys, you do instead of, is it 60 or 75? Whatever it is. It used to be 60 DPS, but instead of 60 DPS, you do 120 DPS. Suddenly, that's pretty good. You do 3 people, it's 180, right? And so anytime you can zap a like 2, 3 people at a time, it's suddenly really hard for their supports to keep up and outheal your damage, right? So even just walking here, let's say, or we jump here, we wait, we see what they have. And then if you jump behind the Sigma over here, you have cover, right? And you could zap these guys in this direction, drop a bubble when they respond, right? Which is going to be after a few seconds of your cooldowns going for your jump in case things go south. Drop a bubble, it cuts off the heals. We can probably get 1 or 2 picks here, I would say. The other thing is Sigma's kind of bad in a Winston. Like he's one of the tanks you can actually pressure like front on. And I personally would see a few things in my comp here, like we're running Iari who can't heal us in distance. Mercy has to put herself in danger to heal us. Mei is short range, but good in a Sigma, right? And even what's her name? Cheyenne. She's basically like a Cassidy in terms of range, right? So I'm going to be looking as Winston to almost brawl, sort of. Or at the very least, when my Mei is getting kind of close, she needs the closest distance, like right now. I want to make people look away from her so she can keep walking. Because once she gets to the Sigma, we can probably kill him, right? He can't vortex our damage. And we have like a lot of health. Yeah, and we can block rock with our bubble. Right, so this kind of does nothing. You're not making anyone move, if that makes sense. But we're about to have jump again. I would walk a little. I like that approach. I like this as well. Jumping back like this. And we see them like all jump down, right? Right now, you got 3 seconds on your jump, right? I would potentially wait for heals, but we kind of have them. But I'm already looking like, okay, can I go in their back line here? Or can I even jump here, throw my bubble down, it cuts off the Sigma, he's going to probably back up, right? And then I can go like on this isolated Ashe. That's what we're looking for, these isolated targets. And Ashe especially, she just doesn't have enough damage to like kill us in a 1v1. So the other thing is just if we walk down here and drop her bubble, it cuts off her heals, right? She can't really shotgun away. If she does, she hits our team. And we can kill her, right? So that bubble, like, I don't really think you're forced to bubble there, right? We're not using the bubble to take space, if that makes sense. Yeah. The bubble makes people move, and it makes people move because we can keep doing what we're doing a little longer, and they have to be like, oh shit, right? A better version of this bubble that's still kind of defensive would be like dropping down and honestly just bubbling this corner and pushing the Sigma back, get them all back there, and then maybe we find this Hanzo who's overextended, right? Now we see him, we can go on him. Okay, we see isolated Kiri. I would say, again, Kiri is probably going to have teleport. These targets have a much harder time getting away from us, and there's 2 of them, so we do double DPS, right? So it's not terrible, but if I had my druthers, I would maybe I'd either jump here, try to land behind them, zap them as long as I can until I basically lose my armor in the bubble, and just group them up for our Mei coming in. Or we could just sort of drop and again cut their team in half, throw a bubble here. If we put someone in danger, Kiri's gonna telly, and then we can just kill her, right? So we pressure her, she tellies, where'd you go? It's good to look straight at the tank, because that's like the first place she might go. Second place is going to be the rest of our team, but I'm going to want to use my next jaunt to kill her. Right? She made a mistake. She is not tellied out of my range. And I'm about to bubble too, yeah? So immediately, I know the rest of them are there, right? You should. I'm jumping here in the middle. I'm throwing down my bubble. I'm killing her. You do the melee like right before you land. I see you trying to do that. You're a little slow at it, but it'll just come with practice, right? Where's the Curie? Right? Melee. Yeah, nice. She tellies again. I can just jump after that. Land here. You want to land so that people can't just run away from you. Generally speaking, you want to kind of land behind people. I'm here. I zap her. Whatever. Right? We can get that kill. Where's the Curie? That's fine. Soldier, good target. We just walk on him in melee. Go on him. Bubble. Bubble. Right? We'd have that to block the rock. Cut off any potential heals. Okay. We'll look at one quick fight and then I gotta go, but I think this should give you enough. Do you see what I'm saying? You're moving in the right position to engage. It's just you're not taking that next step of just like committing. And so it happens a lot on the second point where we're just like taking a bunch of damage. Like it's good to go up here, right? And whatever. We have our jump, we have our bubble. One thing we can do is jump down here and get this mega, right? We know Iari and Mercy can't really follow us right now, right? The payload's still moving out. But let's saw their Sigmas way there, they're overextended, and we are looking for these guys, they're numero uno on our hit list, as the dive tank, right? Because the rest of our team isn't that good at playing into them. We should hear the elevator there. Right, we just needed to go to Mega there, and or use our bubble sooner. Again, it's like these clustered groups of enemies who like can't get away from you. Right, like Moira on their team has a movement cooldown. Juno does. Ashe does, but it doesn't get her out of our jump range. Really. I mean, Moira's doesn't either. So we're here, fine. Let's jump in. Oh, we missed. That's fine. That was actually a good jump. Because we can just walk out the Sigma. We don't care. He doesn't do a shitload of damage to us with our armor. The Ashe kind of does. But if we walk up, take this cart as cover against them, bubble, like he has to move back or he'll die. Right? We can go in here. Again, take this. We can even body block the Bob and then bubble and kind of jump out. Use this cover. So that way the Bob doesn't go into our team. But now that we saw the Bob, we want to probably bubble him. I don't mind this. Right idea, wrong technical execution. I almost think just kind of a higher jump would have helped you there. If we're hiding, we can just go get this Mega. You're going to have to play around Megas if you have a team that doesn't have like a Ana or something like that. Or Kiri. Bubble. Yeah, we're bubbling really late. Unfortunate it fell over there. I don't know how that fell through the ground. And the other thing is just because we died so late, now we're staggered and our team has just gone in, right? Would have been better off just sort of hiding. I know the soldier chased you down. Now we should just wait. Right, we got 2 dead. I would just get out. You're not going to do anything but feed here. And now we can look to rotate like kind of through here. I like this. I would have maybe, honestly, since the lane was open, I would have just taken the elevator so I had the jump. We just hide here. And then when I have jump, like if I did it the way you did it, then I go. And we can kind of go this way so that forces him to already look like where he doesn't want to be looking, right? So this, again, we're not bubbling to take space, we're bubbling to, like, not take damage, right? We just draw it down to this mega right now. Nice. We can do that without the bubble. Okay, we got a kill, good. Chill for a sec, and now we jump. We have bubble, we have jump. Yeah. Punch him. Bubble a little earlier and you would have cut off the heals. I don't get the primal here. I would have just gone mega, probably. Just because they're wide open, you know, and the way primal works, you really want to just pick someone you think you can kill. He's like used a movement cooldown or survival cooldown. Like Ash after she shotguns, or Soldier like in a room, and you want to just like whack them against a corner, like against the wall, and then just boop them. Or the other way is to like initiate, like take tons of space by using it as like an extra life. But you're never gonna, like, I wouldn't be able to kill a Soldier. Well, right there I would have. Bubble. So instead of bubbling to protect, let's just bubble this guy, right? It blocks Moira's heals. She has to come in. We try to zap both of them. We're probably trying to kill the Moira, but it forces both of them to move. And I probably would have saved my jump for after the Moira faded, right? Here, we're getting a lot of heals. These guys can't do shit to us if we have a bubble down. I just jump behind this guy, bubble them. They can't help him. Versus my team, it makes them move, right? Land behind them, and have an idea of when this bubble breaks. I'm gonna duck in here, right? I'm gonna duck behind this payload, if I can clear it. Okay. So we're sort of not near enough things that we can kill, and so we just take a bunch of damage. I'll let you jump away here. So this Soldier, we've been trying to clear him from this way like a bunch, right? What would have happened if you had gone, you know, we'd gone in, we'd gone this way, and we just jumped up from kind of below him, so he can't see us coming, and we land here. Or we land here to get him away from his team, but probably behind him. Right? Nice kill. Now we can walk back. We can just go at these guys. When they turn, we can bubble. We bubble here. Bubble here. Yeah. And then just stay in your full health. So it's hard to keep track of your health, I think, when you're starting out. But really, like, you want to know sort of when you get to, I don't know, 2/3 health. When you lose your armor and become more squishy. Here we just need to go. This Sigma's too far up, right? We jump behind him. We throw down our bubble. Try to get the Moira when she comes to him, and we just bubble dance, right? And then we can take probably cover just here. It's kind of our job to take the space here. So again, this is bubbling to I don't know, not take damage or choke instead of like bubble to sort of move them or block a cooldown. Bubble to take space. Okay, so he's over there, fine. He's isolated, let's get the rest of their team. Bubble this. Or we need to jump to where we hear the sights and bubble that, right? And we jumped here and bubbled here. There's like 3 guys all clustered up, right? I would just say for now, look for the Look for the clusters. That jump, sometimes you need to press back on the left stick to jump a little shorter. So we're holding bubbles so long that we bubble when we have like 90 health. We want to throw down our bubble, right, like 3 seconds earlier, so then we can play footsie. And if the Moira wants to damage us, we go this way, and then if she comes through to this side, we go that way. That's called bubble dancing. And we need a little bit of health. We need more health to be able to actually do that effectively. I'll let you bubble the Bob, though. But again, you see this Sig like so far up, we really could just walk to him. We bubble all of his heals, and we could just literally stand behind him, zap him, and punch him. Right? Even that, it wasn't very good at all, the bubble, but it still basically causes Sigma to die. So here we go. And here again, like we have jump, we have bubble. I know someone died. There's 30 seconds left. But we need to go take some space here. Like jump on this soldier. He's way overextended. And bubble in so you can't shoot your mercy. And again, we're just bubbling to like stand here and zap people, I guess, for very little DPS. Okay, so we're gonna have primal. We need to use our primal to at least stall and probably to push people forward into our Mei. We just walk here. Right, so we're not really bubbling to cut people off. We have full health here. So like a different version of that jump. We walk up to the Sig. We bubble to make him go back, okay? Or we just zap him until he takes some damage. We jump all the way back here because we know we have primal. Land like sort of here. Zap these guys. Maybe we use this as cover. If we take too much damage, we primal. We try to kill the Ashe. Or if we see Moira fade, we try to kill her, right? It's that kind of like, you don't want to go in the middle of their team, but you want to go like on the fringes of it to kind of pull them apart. A lady bubble rock there. But we need to be, we hear the ult, we need to go help our Cheyenne. She's in, right? This bubble, honestly, if we had jumped to take space with it and thrown it down here for our Cheyenne to use, because she can play around it too, she can get a lot more done and maybe not die in her ult. Yeah. She still gets a kill, right? That's just a bad jump. But I would go up on her pretty much immediately from up behind her. Right here. So she has to run into our team. She wants to go to that mega. She has to run into our team or die. Yeah. And we can always jump and get mega if we're low health. Right? We're just sort of not taking any space right now. Like, she's going to screw your team over, so you probably should have dealt with her, but if we go back to my simple rule, there's 3 people here, right? I jump up a bubble here. We can use this cover to survive till we can jump out. We're taking so much damage and we're low health now because we've just been standing on point taking damage instead of making space. So I think you can get more from just looking for clusters of guys using your bubble to block the stuns like a little earlier and just thinking about like, I want to like take this space, okay? There's like a missing step going on, which is like, I'm going to start the fight right now. I see where I can go to make people move, to threaten them, right? We don't have to get kills. You can, like, I could solo kill this whole lobby if I was playing as you on Winston. People are really badly positioned. They're wasting cooldowns, et cetera, right? I don't expect you to do that, but you need to threaten people. And And if you're gonna go for isolated targets, you need to be a little better at killing them. I think soldiers' movement is kind of messing you up. Um, I think a little more height on your jumps so you can see them and track them a little better will help you. And just thinking about where do I want them to run to? So jump behind that so that you're ready to chase them instead of having to like chase them further and further away from your team, right? And then it's just like the knowledge of like, I have this healing comp that's really short range, right? Even with the Moira. So I need to play around that. I probably need to use some health packs. And I need to be a little decisive. I can't bubble late because I'm not going to get healed, right? So that should be enough to start you out. Let me know if you have questions. I hope I explained that well enough. But yeah, it's really that like we need to try to use our bubble and use our zap to like maximize pressure a lot more, right? So for now, yeah, look for those clusters of enemies to do DPS to, especially if they're standing like near cover, like those guys at the very beginning. They're by that truck. I can jump behind that truck. I have a place to hide, right? And I can throw my bubble down if I think I can kill someone, or if there's like a cast or something, and they're gonna flashbang me, or Sigma's gonna rock me, right? And then sometimes you really would have been better off just walking up to the front of their team when supports are playing near a Sigma, especially, or like a Zarya. You can punish that because you do damage to everyone all at once, right? So that's for starters. We'll look at the hazard one too. If you want me to look at the defense, we can do it. But for now, I think it's the basics of just like trying to use bubble better, trying to use zap better, trying to go in, like committing, and just thinking through like I'm gonna take this fight here. I'm gonna try to do this. Okay. So let me know if that makes sense.